Moltres is a top tier threat at the moment in the OU tier, and this video is going to show you why. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're having a battle versus Accelerate, or Godspeed in game. Go ahead and join the Discord server. It's the best place to go for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles right now. There is a link in the description down below. And with that being said, let's jump to the team preview. Okay, Godspeed has got a powerful looking team. They've got a Titan, a Abomasnow, King Gambit, Iron Treads, the Slowking, Galar, and the Greninja as well, which is pretty cool. Looks like Survivor might put some work in if they don't want to switch their Iron Treads or the King Gambit in. Earthquake can hit a lot of the team pretty hard. If we can get rid of that Titan and that Abomasnow, of course. Moltres looks like he's going to be a key player in, well, actually no, because Titan gets Liquidation, doesn't it? So we've got to be real careful with that thing in the snow. Definitely real careful with that thing in the snow. I think they probably lead off with the Abomasnow, so I kind of want to lead off with the Moltres straight away and get a Fire Blast off. That kind of forces them to go out into either the Greninja or the Slowking. So let's kind of just do that. And the battle begins, so Accelerate or Godspeed's going to lead off with the Abomasnow as expected. Nice and shiny as we lead off with our Moltres, which is a great matchup as you can see. Not a lot of the team wants to switch into a Fire Blast from this thing, so Moltres is probably going to be our win con, but you know, it is what it is. Let's go for the Fire Blast straight away. There's really no reason not to. They can't sell Aurora Veil, because if they sell Aurora Veil, they lose their Abomasnow potentially to a Fire Blast. They do withdraw the Abomasnow. Are they going to go straight into the Slowking? Probably. Slowking comes in, which is fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. Now this thing's probably going to go for a Future Sight next. So we're going to hit with a Fire Blast to see how much damage it does. A critical hit, but even then that's a lot of damage. So I'm going to guess they're more of a physically defensive variant. I could Terra Ground and go for it with the Terra Blast, but I think I'm going to U-turn for now. We don't need to Terra just yet. So they are going to withdraw the Slowking, which is fair enough. They withdraw the Slowking. They don't want to get hit by another Fire Blast. They go into the Greninja to take said Fire Blast. Nice and shiny as well. Gotta love it. As we go for a nice and powerful U-turn on the Greninja, which is going to give us some nice momentum. So Greninja doesn't go down to the U-turn, but it nearly does, which is really good for us, really good for us. So now with the Greninja on the field, I think if we were going to bring in the Iron Treads at any point, it's going to be now. Earthquake hits everything really hard on the team, though. That's the only problem we've got. So I think the best switch in for Greninja is going to be Quackable, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to strictly real quick. There we go. Nice and dancing. And then we just go straight for a close combat because nothing on their team really wants to take a close combat. That's the truth. That is just the plain truth. They've got a very weak fighting team other than the Slowking Galar. So I might go for the Aqua Step. Just expecting the Slowking Galar to come in. I think that's probably the best way to go about this. They do withdraw the Greninja. Are they going to go into the Slowking? It's pretty much the only thing they can switch in safely. I guess the Abomasnow can probably take a close combat, but maybe not two. You know, because of the snow and everything. So we go for an Aqua Step on the Slowking switching, which is great for us. Gets a bit of momentum. It's not enough to 2-hit KO it from where it's at, so there's definitely a physically defensive variant. So what I'm going to do is, expecting a Future Sight here, I'm going to go into Goldengo. No, don't go Goldengo. Or do we go Garchomp? I think we go Garchomp. I think Garchomp's a solid shout here. So we do withdraw our Quackable from the Galarian Slowking because we don't want to get hit in the face with a Psychic. And we're going to go into our nice and powerful Garchomp. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it. Got to love it. As they do, in fact, Terra. So what are they going to Terra type into? That's the real question. What are they going to Terra type into? Is going to be a nice and powerful Grass type. So interesting choice. Interesting choice indeed. Because here's the thing. There's a lot of my... Oh, Thunderwave. Even better. Even better. Even better. So like now we can go for a Stealth Rocks if we want to. That'll bait out the Iron Treads at some point during the night. So let's go for a Stealth Rock real quick. They probably won't stay in because they'll be fearing an Outrage maybe. Or a Fire Blast. They do withdraw the Slowking. That's fair enough. What are they going to go into to take a Stealth Rocks or something? So Titan's going to come in. So Titan's going to want to take advantage of that snow. We go for the Stealth Rocks, of course. Going to be great for that Abomasnow when it switches in again on the Greninja as well if it's not heavy duty boots. The snow does stop though, which is great. So we've got a couple of options here. We can EQ and get damage on this Titan as soon as possible. I think that's probably the best bet to go for. So let's just do that. Let's just go straight for an EQ. If they attack us and die, they get some Rough Skin and some Rocky Helmet damage, which means they can't Belly Drum. So they go for a Play Rough, which is going to lower our attack, which is unfortunate, but we're going to get some Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet damage on this Titan. So if Garchomp's taking anything out of this game, it's going to be this Titan. I know we've got the Iron Treads there. So they are a Belly Drum set, which is interesting to note. So they can't Belly Drum now. because we're going to lower its health just enough to where it can't, and that basically averts the threat of Belly Drum Titan under the snow. So we go for another Earthquake that's going to do minimal damage to the Titan, but it's all that. And they did try and go for a Belly Drum, so we had to go for that EQ there, otherwise they would have got a Belly Drum up and then it would have all been over. So now that health's low enough, we can just go for a layer of spikes real quick and let them damage us. They go for an Ice Shard, that's going to take out the Garchomp, unfortunately. Critical hit as well, not that it mattered, I'm sure. So Siding goes down, but we did prevent a Belly Drum being set up, because Belly Drum plus Ice Shard would have definitely been very detrimental to my team. We definitely didn't want that situation to be there. So we've got a couple of options now. We can use the Viper. No, we can't, because it's going to be able to get one shot by the Earthquake from that thing. So Quackle's probably the best one. Quackle's probably the best one on Moltres. So I'm leaning towards Moltres. I'm leaning towards Moltres more, because that Slowking can't switch in anymore, and they have literally no switch-ins to Fire Blast here. So let's go for the Fire Blast and just like get a KO on something. So they go for an Ice Shard, it's going to do minimal damage to us, of course. We go for a Fire Blast, that's going to take out the Titan. So Titan was a big threat, and it's definitely out of the way now. So let's go ahead and mark it off our list. In comes the Greninja, as you would expect. Now, we don't know what type of Greninja this is, whether it's Protean or Battle Bond. It's going to get hurt by some Stealth Rocks though, which is great. And Moltres definitely don't want to stay in here, so we go straight into Quackleval here. Quackleval, unless they're extra sensory, which I don't think they will be, we should be golden. So we do withdraw the Moltres. They don't switch out themselves, which is good to note. And we go straight into strictly the Quackleval over here. There we go. Let's see what they do. They go for a Hydro Pump. Are they Protean? They are Protean, which is good to note. This Hydro Pump is going to sting a little bit, but it's not a 2-hit KO, which is good. And if they are Protean, that means they're not going to get stabbed on their extra sensory if they have it. I'm pretty sure it still KOs, but it's not stabbed, so there's a good chance it won't KO. The Greninja's not exactly the most powerful Pokemon in the world. So I say we go for an Aqua Step here and just kind of go from there. They're going to withdraw the Greninja, or are they going to go straight into the Abomasnow though? That's the real question. Probably to get that snow up, because I'll boost its physical defense, which is definitely what an Ice type wants to have against the strong fighting type like Quackleval. So the Snow Warning is there, makes it snow. We go for an Aqua Step on the switch in. It's going to do minimal damage to the Abomasnow. There we go. But I'm wondering whether Close Combat will KO from here. And I'm wondering whether it's worth trying, because we kind of need Quackleval for the Greninja as a switch in, although we can only switch in one more time. We do have switch ins to this thing, being the Moltres, of course, if we need to, and the Goldengo. Goldengo could be a good shout. I don't think they go for an Earth Power here. I think they definitely like see the threat. They go for the Wood Hammer or the Giga Drain. So I think Moltres is the best switch in, so I'm going to go into Moltres real quick. There we go. Going to withdraw strictly, because we don't need it anymore. And we're going to go straight into our Forks, the Moltres. I can't even get my names out today. They do go for an Energy Ball Grass Stab move, which we kind of expected. Didn't do anything to the Moltres, of course. Now we get to fire off a Fire Blast at something, and it's going to be epic. Moltres just comes in and gets a free KO with a Fire Blast, which is crazy good for us. So they do withdraw the Abomasnow. What are they going to go into to take a Fire Blast? That's the real question. The Greninja, on the off chance we miss the Fire Blast, that's fair enough. Greninja comes in. It's going to get some Stealth Rocks damage, which is fine. Are we going to hit this Fire Blast, please? No, we don't. We missed the Fire Blast, which is a real shame. It's a real shame, that is. So we have to go back into Quackleval here just to get the Life Orb recoil from the Greninja to KO it after, I think, 2 more attacks. So we'll switch out into Quackleval real quick, because Quackleval is the only way we're really dealing with this thing. And there we go. Strictly comes on in. Boom. We're going to take a Dark Pulse like it's nothing. Hopefully. Yep, we take it like his notes. And now the Hydro Pump that they follow up with is also not stab anymore, which means it won't do nearly half like it did before. So that's good to note. So we'll go for an Aqua Step real quick just to get that nice and powerful speed boost. They do go for a Shadow Sneak, not sure why, when they are faster than us anyway. But this does mean that we don't get the Aqua Step, KO, which means we're not going to get a Moxie Boost either, because they died from recoil. You don't get Moxie Boosters if you die from recoil. So Quackleval, unfortunately, didn't get any boosts at all there. In comes the Abomasnow. So Abomasnow comes on in. Gets that snow up, which is really unfortunate. Does get some stones dug into it, which is really nice. And we could definitely go for a close combat here and potentially KO this thing. I am going to go straight for the close combat. There's no real reason to leave this thing around any longer. May as well get that Moxie boost and carry on from there. We do get the defense drop though, which is unfortunate. And we haven't got a speed boost, which means the Iron Treads can easily come in and finish us off. But I'm not too fussed about that because at the end of the day, we're doing good right now. In comes the Slowking. So Slowking comes on in. Slowking can definitely take a close combat, that's for sure. But we kind of don't really care. So let's just go for a close combat. It's Moxie boosted. May as well go for it. And KO the Slowking. There we go. So KO the Slowking, which is fantastic. They obviously didn't think it would get the KO there. But Quackable is just that strong, I'm afraid. Quackable is just that strong. Now all they need to do is bring in the Iron Treads, which outspeeds us and gets the KO with the Earthquake. In comes the King Gambit. King Gambit obviously can get a KO here with a Sucker Punch. We're going to let it do it because there's no real reason to leave the Quackable around any longer. So we'll go straight for the close combat here. They probably watch them go for a Kowtow Cleave expecting us to switch. That'd be hilarious. Yep, they did that. They did the exact thing that we thought they would. And they didn't Sucker Punch. No one ever Sucker Punches there. I don't know why. It is tough though with the Sucker Punch mind games because, you know, if I had switched out there, I'd been in a bit of a pickle. But, you know, it is what it is. Either way, the Iron Treads can come in now. Unless it's bulky Iron Treads, in which case we do outspeed it, which is crazy. And Quackable's going to get another mini sweep again. That's not good. Iron Treads comes in, which is absolutely fine. It's nice and shiny. Nice and shiny. Let's see what item it's got. So it's not got Air Balloon, which is good to note. We can just go for an Aqua Step here, right? We shouldn't outspeed though. They should definitely outspeed us and KO with Earthquake here. Earthquake comes through. That's definitely going to KO the Quackable. Should have gone into that in the first place. Like, I mean, or, you know, King Gambit at least could have Sucker Punched. I don't know. There's a couple of plays my opponent made there where I'm just a bit like, not you know, not the ideal move, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So let's go into Moltres, and Moltres can take up the spotlight for the remainder of this game. Moltres can take up the spotlight. I kind of wanted Moltres to take up the spotlight, so let's go for it. Let's go for that Fire Blast real quick. They go for a knockoff. It's going to do minimal damage. Gets the Flame Body burn as well, which is crazy good. Crazy good, as we can go for a nice and powerful Fire Blast. And hopefully get the KO on this Iron Treads. As we do, that is going to be the game. So Moltres got a couple of KOs there, which is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It didn't get the KO on the Greninja like we wanted it to because we missed the Fire Blast, but it is what it is. Anyway, thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.